So yesterday, Elon Musk took his son X to a press conference. I did not name the child. And I don't want to hear any more mess about our names, okay? Okay?
X is a way better name than Whoopi. I don't see nothing wrong with the name. I don't see nothing wrong with the name X. I actually like the name X, especially when you got a business name X. It's not. Yeah, it makes it that much doper.
It seems like you already said the business is his.
Anywho, he took little X.
Funny. A little Instagram.
He doesn't know an Instagram.
Wah, wah, wah. Not funny.
She tried.
Try again.
He doesn't know an Instagram.
He doesn't know an Instagram. He just took little X with him to a press conference in the Oval Office to defend himself against critics who say he should not have the power to gut the federal agency. Take a look.
Your detractors, Mr. Musk, including a lot of Democrats, say that you're orchestrating a hostile takeover of government and doing it in a non-transparent way.
The people voted for major government reform.
Facts.
There should be no doubt about that. That was on the campaign. The president spoke about that at every rally.
Is there any sort of accountability check and balance in place that would provide any transparency for the American people?
Well, all of our actions are fully public. So if you see anything, you say like, wait a second, hey, Elon, that seems like maybe that's, there's a conflict there. It's not like people are going to be shy about saying that. They'll say it immediately.
Including you yourself.
Yes.
An example of the fraud that you have cited was $50 million of condoms was sent to Gaza.
Some of the things that I say will be incorrect and should be corrected. So nobody's going to bat 1,000.
Right.
Facts. I like the fact that he said that, and he said that for people just like these people that's sitting up here right now. I'm going to make a mistake. If I came up here and said, yo, everything I say from here on out is going to be 100% correct.
Yeah.
Then you'll tear me up. But you can't really do that because I already put out there, I might make a mistake again in the future. At the end of the day, I'm human. You're human. We make mistakes. I might make a mistake again. If I make a mistake, it need to be corrected because I don't want that out in the ether if it wasn't truthful.
And like you said, if something was a conflict of interest, as transparent as we're being at this moment, I'm sure someone would say something about it. Yes. Especially if it was pointing in my direction.
Yes.
Isn't that what you're looking for?
You think I don't think I don't think everybody's on the left is looking through everything I'm doing with a fine-tooth comb to make sure.
Absolutely.
They're trying to connect some dots, even if they don't connect.
Even if they don't connect, to try to make them connect.
Yeah.
Okay, just before we even say anything, I want to say over the last 10 years, Musk companies, SpaceX and Tesla were awarded at least $18 billion in federal contracts, according to spending data. And since the president's election, his net worth has increased $64 billion, or nearly 25%. So, yeah, I'm going to say...
See, what I don't like when they do stuff like that, they say it increased by $64 billion. But tell us, how did it increase? It couldn't increase, and it had nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with that at all.
You get what I'm saying? So tell us how this happened, and then I could be with you. But you're not giving me enough information to be with you because this man was making billions before this even happened.
Yeah, absolutely. He's playing in space.
He was the richest.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not talking about somebody with small commas.
Yes.
So it's not making any sense.
Before this happened.
He was
the richest man in the world. Makes zero sense. He don't need Trump to make more money. He was doing.
It's not a good argument.
He was doing pretty good before Trump.
Yeah, he was doing all right.
Or nearly 25%. So yeah, I'm gonna say, you want to cut something? Cut some of the stuff you're taking out. Yeah. Because I get that there's fat everywhere, and yes, we'd all like to see less of it. But what you're doing is a lot more than just cutting fat. You're giving people information that they should not have because they're not the people whose information it is.
Yeah.
So, and nobody elected you.
Yeah,
That's the part.
And another thing I don't like about this whole data thing, they keep talking about he's getting out data. Let's stop acting like everyone data is not already on the internet and all over the black market already.
Yeah, it hasn't been breached.
They keep acting like this information is not already
Numerous
out there.
times.
All this information's out there. It's been out there. Anybody could get it. There's not nothing he really could get that's not already on the internet somewhere.
That's the part.
That's the main part. You know, Whoopi, to your point, Whoopi, about all these government contracts, the billions of dollars that his companies have, his 6 companies have with the U.S. government. What is also very interesting is the cutting that he has done with the federal agencies. Those very same agencies have 32 continuing investigations, complaints, or enforcement actions against his companies. Mm-hmm. Those are the agencies and the people that he is cutting. So all of it is inuring to his benefit. And what is really rich to me, again, is that he is not elected. And
when you say stuff like that, you got to say how it's to his benefit. Don't just
Absolutely.
tell me it's to his benefit.
Yeah,
how is it?
Assuming, you know what I'm saying? It's the lengths and amount of money this man has and is already dealing and playing with.
Yes.
That it makes no sense.
Even
and then you're creating caps of what he's spending.
Yeah.
Like, you got to really think about that. Yeah. They're talking about billions of dollars.
Yes.
You can't say, well, I assume he would do this or I assume he would that. You don't know what he's thinking, and you see what he's doing with the government right now. He's got a lot on his plate.
A lot on his plate. As a matter of fact, he's sleeping in Washington, D.C. on a cot. It's crazy.
To his benefit. And what is really rich to me, again, is that he is not elected, and he is talking about our...
They keep trying to make that point. He's not elected. You're right. He's
appointed. That's the part that bothers me about that. I'm like, because I hear him keep saying he's not elected. He's not elected. And I'm like, I feel you. I feel where you're coming from. Yeah. But he's appointed.
Yes. The person that had his job before him, was they elected?
No.
And was you complaining about it then?
No.
Exactly.
To me, again, is that he is not elected, and he is talking about our American democracy. A man who grew up in South Africa during the apartheid era, benefited from apartheid, and apartheid is the very antithesis to our American democracy, because in South Africa today, there is, 81% of South Africans' population are Black Africans. Yet only 4% of those Black Africans own the land. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is the person that's supposed to be teaching us about democracy.
Well, and the main thing he leaned into was he kept saying, this is all...
I didn't get the point. Now I got her back. What was the point she trying to make? She said he's from Africa. That's 81%.
87% black, but 4% on land.
So why can't he talk about America 87%? Because of that? I don't know. I'm confused.
She's speaking about apartheid.
The land. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is the person that's supposed to be teaching us about democracy.
Well, and the main thing he leaned into was he kept saying, this is all public record. We're super transparent. And you can... So I thought, okay, well, let me look into this a little bit, because he said there's nothing that's been more transparent before. He told us if you go to the Doge website... well, first of all, he said in that press conference, you can go to the Doge on X, which he owns. So that's part of the problem here. But then he says, go to the Doge web...
Well, the owner or not, it's the information's there. Why does it matter if I own it if the information is there? What does it matter who's on it?
Site. On there, the first things you can do is buy a meme coin, t-shirts, and hats. I couldn't find, and I literally looked for any piece of data that could be portrayed as some transparency. He has one debt chart that's a graph, and I'm like, okay, we already knew we had problems with our debt. Where's the new information? No clickable links. Nothing. So when he says it's public, I'm not sure what he means. And just because someone's speaking a lot, I heard someone last night that was talking when Alyssa was on CNN about, hey, this president keeps grabbing the mic. He's talking to us all the time. Remember when Biden didn't do that? It matters what you say, not how often you talk. So when you're on the air...
I mean, Biden was going 6 months at a time without saying anything to anybody. You know what I'm saying? You got to speak more frequently than that. And we've been listening to everything over the last couple of weeks, even before the last couple of weeks, everything that's been coming out of Elon's mouth and everything that's been coming out of Trump's mouth. And I don't see nothing wrong with nothing they have said so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty direct. It's been pretty much transparent.
Yeah,
and it's good. It's good conversation.
Yeah, all we've been hearing is transparency and trust. Transparency and trust.
And then all we've been seeing is in the know or need to know.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of information over the stuff we've been covering.
Yeah, now
you say, not how often you talk. So when you're on the air and you're saying these things, the one thing that came from Doge was that miscalculation that you just mentioned, a massive one of the 50 million condoms in Gaza. Well, that went out, and then he said in that it needs to be corrected. I haven't heard anyone going out on the airs and blaring out there to be corrected. It's already living out in the ether. So you gotta be transparent with actual data, information, and facts. We don't need.
Didn't he just say that yesterday?
Yeah, that's what she's talking about. But my thing is this, right? Since they've been putting out the statements so far, it came up to $10 billion. So the only thing you found wrong out of $10 billion is 59 million.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's an insignificant number when you're looking at $10 billion.
And the only thing you can point to is 59. He got 59 million wrong out of 10 billion. It's crazy.
So you gotta be transparent with actual data, information, and facts. We don't need you to bat 1,000. Somewhere even half of that would be nice.
But they lie all the time. And for 2 weeks, we heard this idea.
Half of that. You're saying one thing. Out of all the stuff I've been coming out, we found fraud hair, people 150s, getting checks, this, that, and the third. And you only found one thing. Then you try to say he's not even batting half.
Yeah, he's batting way over half right now.
It's crazy.
Where even half of that would be nice.
But they lie all the time. And for 2 weeks, we heard this idea that they spent $50 million on condoms in Gaza.
Right.
It's not even Gaza in the Middle East. It's Gaza in Mozambique. They didn't even know that.
And the number was wrong, too.
How many people know there's a Gaza in Mozambique?
I was just about to say.
I never heard that before.
Yeah.
Who knew that?
Who knew?
I don't even know where Mozambique is at, to be honest with you.
Not even Gaza in the Middle East. It's Gaza in Mozambique. They didn't even know that.
And the number was wrong, too.
And then he goes on, Elon Musk goes on and says, well, I made a mistake. Meanwhile, you perpetuated the lie for the past 2 weeks, just like they did about these Haitians eating cats and dogs. Lies, and more lies, and then it goes out there. That there's a meme going around that I have to show. Look at this. Show that picture of the boy in the office. This is little kid. He's adorable. Little Elon Musk's son saying to Donald, "Why are you sitting in my daddy's seat?"
It's like, yo, you're gonna see
crazy.
You're gonna see a lot of this, and then when I see this coming out, I know it's directly coming from the left. Because they're trying to keep their narrative going that, Elon Musk is in charge and not Donald Trump. When we watched this, you could tell who was in charge. Donald Trump made it clear that this man reports to me. And anything I don't want him doing, he will not be doing. And if I feel like there's a conflict of interest, I'm taking him off it immediately.
You absolutely, obviously could look at such a meme and know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It speaks for itself.
Facts.
Whoopi has said he is the shadow president.
Listen,
you said Elon Musk is the shadow president.
What I need from them is I need them to really figure out how to keep my information. You know, you have all these things that come up on television. They say if you want to protect your information, and he's got these people going through your stuff. You don't know who these people are. That some 19-year-olds.
19-year-old kids.
Yeah. Now, I like 19-year-olds. I know a lot of 19-year-olds, but I would not give them my personal data.
She must have never heard of hackers.
Yeah, they're quick.
They've been hacked. Then the government just get hacked under the Biden administration with a data breach.
Yes, this happened.
So the data's already out there, which is crazy.
It's definitely accessible.
My general critique is this. Most Americans think, 55% of Americans think that the government is too large and they'd like to see some cuts. The Government Accountability Office, the GAO, nonpartisan, estimates the federal government loses between $233 billion and $520 billion a year in fraud. So go after that. That is totally legitimate. Yeah. My critique is that when they...
The only way you could go after that is you got to go through everything line by line. There's no other way to go after $230 billion.
It's not.
You gotta go through each and everything. That's what he's doing, but this is what you're complaining about.
That's what I was about to say. So the complaint is the request.
It's crazy.
they do release where they're cutting from. They don't tell us why they're getting rid of it, what they're replacing if a service is lost. And we've only seen a number of agencies kind of go through the Doge so far. He hasn't made it to DOD, for example. There is waste and fraud at the Pentagon. I work there. You could take out you could get rid of a lot of people, but there's also some incredibly important functions there that impact national security. You think of HHS, health, and if we had, God forbid, another pandemic, you don't want to find out later, oops, I didn't bat 1,000 and we got rid of that we needed.
It's called throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
But I do want to note one thing, because some people are like, Elon's actually in charge, it's not Trump. I actually think that Trump's doing something strategic by having Elon own this, because it's going to get less and less popular when people see that things they like are being taken away, and he's going to blame Elon. This relationship isn't going to last.
Listen, that's what he's doing with.
This is why you have cabinet members to delegate certain jobs. I'm the head of the snake, but I cannot do everything myself. I put people in places that I trust to to do your job. I'm not going to stand in your way. I'm going to let you do your job. You know what you're supposed to do. If you're not doing it, it's going to make it back to me, and then we'll adjust it then.
As
but
needed.
Right now, this is yours. I don't want to look like I'm doing your job for you. I want the people to know that you're doing your job.
That's why I appointed you to do such a job. Because I knew it would get done effectively.
Yes.
All of these people, when people start keeling over because we're not getting the information about what illnesses are out there,
and they haven't had an omelet in a year, I'm going to be like, it wasn't me.
And he's going to do what he always does. He has this ability to slide out of everything, and everybody else eats the poo. Okay?
Let me give some examples.
Bon appetit.
But before I go, ABC News is on the ground across the country.
You're like, what do you mean? Like, it's crazy. The older I get, you know what I'm saying, when I watch stuff like this, the more I'm like, elaborate.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's just where I'm at in life now. It's like, elaborate.
Yes.
Tell me why you feel such a way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing wrong with saying someone does this and you eat the poop.
Yeah.
But transition with because of this or this happened or this is the reason I feel this way. Don't just make a blanket statement like that.
You can't. Even us, we haven't been doing this. It's nowhere as close as long as they've been doing it.
She has such a high influence though. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be careful what you say out here.
Yeah, but my thing is this. We haven't been doing this as long as they've been doing it, right? Anytime we say something, then we tell you why we say it.
Exactly.
We don't just say it. We're gonna put a why behind it, so we know that
we know you got to be careful out here.
She should definitely know it's a crazy situation. Definitely keep an eye on it. Before we get up to the video, if you didn't like, subscribe, leave a comment. Make sure you do that. Until our next video, it's Tremaine Jones.
It's Lamar Wilson,
and we out.